So Ben, firstly, welcome to Tonbridge.
Thank you.
Competing in the 5 and the 10,000 in Moscow. It's a fairly heavy program. How do you think you'll balance the two?
The 10,000 has always been my main focus, and it still will be. So I'm almost pretending that that's the only race I'm doing in Moscow. I'm really going to put all my energy and focus into that, run as hard as I can, and then as soon as I cross the line, go into recovery mode and get the medical team here working overtime, trying to get me to be able to back up and run that 5,000 metre heat. But in the past, I've struggled to walk a couple of days after a 10,000, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the focus is the 10, and if I can back up and run well in the 5, then that's really going to be a good bonus.
Looking back to your A-Qualifier in the 10,000 metres, Palo Alto has been a fairly impressive stomping ground for you. What sort of makes that track such a good place to run?
I think it's a combination of things. It's the 2 times I've been there, it's been perfect conditions, no wind, good temperature. We come straight down from altitude there, so it's that works really well for me training up at Laguna near San Diego, and then we come down and race pretty much the next day. And then there's just a whole bunch of guys there all running, around about that A-Qualifier or a bit faster, so you get in there and you've got a really well-paced race. So, the first time I went there I was 3rd and set the Australian record, and last time I won it and ran the second fastest time I've ever run, and ran the A standard for here. So yeah, it's probably my luckiest track going around at the moment, so I'll try and get back there next year.
5,000 metres, you ran the A-Qualifier for that event a few weeks ago in Houston, opening the door for Brett Robinson, who's now been selected on his B-Qualifier. Talk us through that race and obviously how you feel heading into that event given the 10,000 metres early.
Yeah, that was my first track race since I ran in LA shortly after Stanford, and the LA race was at the time that was my second fastest 5,000 ever in a pretty tactical race. So I went back to Australia, ran a couple of road races and cross-country relays back there, so didn't know exactly how I was going to go in Belgium. It had been a while since I stepped on the track, so just training been going well, thought I'd jump in and try and run a PB, and I got very close to it, just missed it by half a second. So that was once again just a really good meet, strong field, running quite fast. I was second, but I was 10 seconds behind the leader, so unfortunately there was a pacemaker for 13 minutes and one for 13:20, so we kind of ended up in between. Just had a good race with some of the Americans.
We're just over a week away from Moscow, 10,000 metres being early in the program. What are your aspirations for the 2 events heading into this year's second World Championships?
I'd like to just line up in good shape, healthy, and just run really hard. It's very hard to aim for a place or a time depending on tactics and conditions and who ends up racing. We haven't seen entry lists or start lists yet, but some of the training I've done recently and my last few races indicate that I'm probably in as good a shape as I've ever been in, and I feel like if I can get to the line in that sort of shape, then I'll be competitive, maybe not for a medal, but hopefully put up a really good showing and run close to my best on national record on race day would be awesome. What
about post-Moscow? You are staying in the UK. I know we need to get through the World Championships first, but what are your racing plans before wrapping up your season?
It'll all depend on how Moscow goes, but we're aiming for a 3,000 in Linz, potentially a 5,000 at the Brussels Diamond League, 3,000 in Rieti, and then undecided after that, but maybe finishing with a race on the roads.
Well, thanks Ben, good luck.
No worries, thank you.